what are the top 3 AI tools that you use?
We're probably quite light on AI, I would say, for a number of reasons. I guess as the Opera House, we're obviously an arts institute, and I think we're still feeling our way through exactly how that plays out within an arts organisation. We obviously, value creativity in the arts, and we want to make sure that we get that right. I think the way that we've been using it today is really kind of in that early phase of a creative project, where it helps us to visualize an idea. So say, for instance, we're doing a kind of a shoot, and we want to do a quick proof of concept, or like a visual to help us explain the idea to some of our stakeholders. That's insanely powerful now, and like, again, so much quicker than it used to be, from either scamping stuff out and then trying to Photoshop something painfully yourself for days, and it'd look horrendous. And now we can kind of prompt our way there pretty quick. We're obviously always transparent about that with the internal people as well, and I think that works great as a placeholder for us to get people aligned. And then we obviously still work with photographers, videographers, whoever else needs to be to do that. And then, I'd probably say similar as well. There's a bit of sparring with Claude. I personally like. I find it quite good to help just tighten up bits of rationale and presentations from an internal perspective, to align with like the briefs that we've been given, the kind of the strategies that we're working towards, and just help us get all of those different points and bits of rationale nice and tight, to kind of get our stories succinct and hopefully get things approved as quick as possible. Yeah, good.
I think I was talking to someone the other day who they have a chair on their board who they've now started, like whenever they are taking something to the board, they put all their presentation together and blah blah, and they within 5 minutes they get something straight back from the chair, and it's clearly feedback from AI, right? And so now what they do is that they have created like a skill or a persona in Claude, which goes, hey, I need you to evaluate this thing that I'm about to send as if you were either the chair or the AI assistant of the chair, to try and get to this point where it's like, okay, what can we think of before we've even sent it?
It's double bluffing.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Talking to each other.
But and yeah, I mean, I think it's funny how like you'll also get things like contracts that have been put together by AI and that then are reviewed by AI and sent back for the AI, and it's a funny world we live in at the moment. But I do think sometimes that piece of, hey, like what have I missed or what haven't I covered, is a really nice usage of AI to go like, I want to make sure that I've dotted all the I's and crossed the T's here. Like, is there a different point of view that someone might have based on what it is that I've just done? I think that's a nice way as well to kind of work with it, and to make, I think ultimately to kind of make your work better or richer, or to cover what it needs to, rather than replace you, which I think if you let AI replace you, then perhaps it will. Are you using AI much, Tammy?
No, so definitely not for my own like therapy, note taking, etc. There's confidentiality pieces, so would never do that personally. But creating content on social media as a therapist is very tricky because of the time required to do it manually. However, on the flip side, seeing therapists who do it using AI, the content does look very similar. And I think more for the therapy space, the mental health space, is an increase in clients coming to me and saying, well, chat said this, so what do you think? Or chat says that I have anxiety and these are the reasons why. Or I don't believe what you're saying because chat believes that it's this. That is really interesting, because what's lost is the nuance of the 10, 20, 30 sessions that we've had before where the therapist myself has connected the dots, but chat has only what you've put into it. So I've got to say, in the therapy space, I'm very reticent to adopt and potentially too slow because of a fear and just honestly a bit of a dislike of it currently. That might not be smart. It might be, making me not efficient work-wise, but until I feel a bit more values aligned, talking of values, it's not for me.
Yeah, no, that's I think there's a lot of people going back and forth on it at the moment. And we've done research at Never Not Creative around AI's effect on mental well-being. And I think one of the biggest things we found was the more you are informed, or the more you've kind of educated about it, the more comfortable you are, or the less. I think one of the findings were that the more you used it, the less likely the correlation with burnout, for example. And I think that some of that just comes from knowing about it. There's a lot of fear mongering. And then if you know, then you can make better choices around where you want to use it or not. So
very true.
Yeah.